Okay, in this video, we're going to go over our outbound call script. This is seller script number 1. And in this script, there are seven key talking points in this script here. And you'll see it's numbered 1, 2, there's 2A, 2B, 2C, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those are the main talking points for the script. In black is basically what you will be saying to the seller or the caller. And in red here is kind of prompts that we put on here to kind of help you answer certain questions that the caller or seller may ask, or just to present you with different possible scenarios. You may already be familiar with these scenarios, but we'll go through each one here separately. So number 1, obviously this is the introduction. So it's, hi, I'm going to use my name. Hi, this is Joseph. May I please speak with Mr. Seller? I'll just call the seller Mr. Seller. Okay. Okay, and then here you see in red it says, if you don't have the seller's name, you can say, may I please speak with the owner of whatever the address of the property may be. It could be 234 Maple Lane. Okay? And underneath that you see here, if the seller asks, how did you get my number? You should say, I'm with a local real estate investment company and we were able to find your number from an online database. If they ask which database, you can say, it's a real estate database that my company accesses to find homeowners that may consider selling their properties. So it may not come down to this much questioning. If they do ask, how did you get my number? And you give them this answer here, the first answer, that may just be enough for them. They won't ask anymore. But just in case, there's always some callers or some sellers that want more information, then we give you this second piece here, right in here. Okay, number 2, Mr. Seller, I'm with a local real estate investment company and we are looking to buy 3 to 5 more properties in your area over the next 3 to 6 months. Would you be interested in selling your property? Okay, and then we give some potential scenarios here at 2A, B, and C. So at 2A, if they're not interested at all, then you would say, okay, no problem. Thanks for your time. If you do have an interest in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at 713-497-1597. Thank you. Okay, that number there is going to be our main number, callback number. That's a phone number that's on the website. So this is going to be a number that you'll be using a lot. Okay. So once you leave them with that, you want to be aware that that particular caller, we want to get them into our CRM and put them in our follow-up section. So we put here in bold red, patients who are not interested should be placed in our follow-up section within Podio, which is our CRM. And we'll do another video on Podio and how to access it, how to use it, how to enter in callers into the follow-up section. We call them apps if you're not familiar with Podio. Okay, so that 2A is for callers who are not interested. Then you go to 2B. 2B is for callers who are interested. Then you would say, okay, great. Just to let you know, we buy properties in as-is condition, so you don't have to do any cleanup or make repairs. We buy properties like yours all the time. We can close quickly and pay all closing costs and fees. You also don't have to pay any commissions. Okay? Then from there, you're going to go to questions number 3 through 6. Okay, so we'll go here and just look at those questions really quickly. So number 3, can you first tell me why you would consider selling your property? Now this is a very important question because this is going to tell us how motivated this particular seller or caller is. So you really want to listen for motivation here. Don't talk after you ask this question. Just listen to the seller talk. And then you want to look at our motivation triggers sheet. I'll pull that up here in just a minute. But that motivation triggers sheet shows you all the motivational triggers that would determine how motivated a caller is. Okay, and I'll refer to that here shortly. Okay, number 4, is the property currently occupied or vacant? Okay, we need to know that. Number 5. Now number 5 is where you're going to go more into property detail. So questions like, what is the square footage of the property? How many bedrooms and baths? Is there a garage? This is a very important one. What repairs are needed? Because this is very important, because this is going to determine how much we offer on the property. So if the property needs repairs, you want to ask, can you estimate what the repair cost would be? Okay. If the seller still can't give us an estimate, then just go on to the next question, which would be number 6. If you don't mind me asking, what is owed on the property currently? Okay. And then number 7, the last key talking point here. Hey, Mr. Seller, again, knowing that we pay all fees and costs such as excise tax, transfer tax, title insurance, escrow fees, and more, what would be the lowest price you would accept for your property? Okay. If the seller appears motivated, set an appointment for property consultants to see the property. So if they have motivation, we want to try to get an appointment set up to go see that particular property. See motivation triggers sheet and get familiar with this so you can know what motivation is. So let me go now to the motivation triggers sheet. I'm going to pull it up right now so you can take a look at this. Okay. And it should be loading here in just a bit. Okay. There it is. Okay. So these are the key motivation triggers to listen for. So you have three main categories. You have financial distress, physical distress, and circumstantial distress. Okay. So financial distress, that would be someone who's going through foreclosure, bankruptcy, loss of employment, property tax lien, judgment, back property taxes, child support issues, can't afford to make their mortgage payments, or somebody just needs cash ASAP as soon as possible. Then you have your physical distress category. These are properties that are boarded up, nobody's there, code violation properties, fire damage properties, properties that are trash rentals, properties with water damage, properties that have been abandoned, properties that are vacant. Okay? And then you have your circumstantial distress. You have sellers who are going through divorce, who are in jail, being transferred, a landlord that has a rental vacancy, having trouble keeping the house rented, older sellers who maybe want to downsize, inheritance, people who loved ones have died and they've left them with property, inherited property, probate, very similar to inheritance, same situation, liquidation, want to downsize, is a death in the family or just a bad investment and they need to sell. So we want to listen for these key motivation triggers. If you hear any of this from the caller while talking with them, then that would show that this seller or caller is likely motivated, and we definitely want to get an appointment set up. So I'm going to X out of here, and you'll have this sheet with you, and we want you to get familiar with that sheet. Okay, so now we're back to the script, and we go to this last point here. So if seller is motivated, this is what we want to say. Okay, thanks for the information. We would like to get one of our property consultants out to see your property. What day is good for you? Now, this is very important. This is called giving the alternate choice. So you want to give the seller alternate choices. So, for example, we have a Tuesday or Thursday available. Okay, which day works better for you? Okay, Then you want to give them an alternate choice on the time. So for example, we have a 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. Which time works better for you? Okay, or which time works better? So you want to give them an either or. Okay, you don't want to say, what day are you available? You're just leaving that's just too open. You want to give them an either or. Okay, so alternate choice. And just note that we will give you our appointment schedules at the beginning of each week so that you'll know what appointment times are available for that week. Okay, so once we get the appointment set for that motivated caller or seller, then you're going to say, okay, great. We will see you on such and such a day at such and such a time. Okay? And that will close that out. Now, if the seller is not motivated, if they don't have any of those triggers that we saw on the motivational triggers sheet, then you're going to say, okay, thanks for the information. I would like to pass this information on to our property consultants. They will review it and touch base with you within the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay? Mr. Seller, is this your best contact number? Also, can you give me your best email? Okay, great. So once you get the information, then you'll say, okay, great, thank you. We will be in touch with you shortly. Bye-bye. Okay, so when we run into a situation where the seller is not motivated, maybe they don't have those triggers, but they might be interested in selling, that's a situation where we will review the property and we will actually send them an offer. We'll generally we'll try to email them an offer within the next day or so. And that's how that will go with sellers who may have an interest in selling but who may not be highly motivated. Okay, so let's go up. I want to make sure I covered everything on the script. I'm just going to scroll back up here and make sure we covered all these scenarios. Let's see. Okay, so we did that. Okay, yes, so we did sellers who don't have an interest. Remember, those are the ones we're going to put in our follow-up section in Podio. The ones who are interested, we're going to go through questions 3 through 6. And then the last scenario is if a caller says, how much do you want for my property? Or something like this, okay? Like how much you want to buy the property for, something like that. Then you want to say, we will first need to get some more information regarding your property before we can give a fair offer. I need to ask just a few questions about the property. Then you'll basically go through questions 3 through 6 again, okay? So you're going to go through those same questions, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to go through that again. And then if the seller does not want to go through any questioning, if they don't want to go through all the questions, can you tell me why you're selling? Is the property, occupied or vacant? What's the square footage? Start going through the details. Then you want to go back to 2A here. And then you're just going to say, okay, no problem. Thanks for your time. If you do have an interest in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at 713-497-1597. Thank you. And then you want to put them in our follow-up section in Podio. Okay? Well, I hope that helps with your understanding of the outbound call script. And again, these are going to be calls to sellers who are on lists. We have these lists on spreadsheets, and we'll go through that in another video. We'll also make these calls to FSBO sellers or for sale by owner sellers. Thank you.